Hello, welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Where in the last episode, we have met back up again with Maggie Bird, where she is on trial yet again for another murder case, and this is actually an appeal trial because she's already been convicted or sentenced to be guilty, and now we have to reverse that decision. So let's see how this goes. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honors. I'm guessing it's Gumshoe.
Maggie!
Yep. Ah, Detective Gumshoe!
Are you doing alright? How are you feeling?
As if you need to ask either questions, sir.
Don't let him get you down, Maggie, and don't forget to eat well, okay?
Roger!
And you!
Yes?
You better square this case away, you got it, pal? Maggie's innocent, you hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest.
I think he's serious. Hey, Detective, you're on our side for once, right?
Yep.
So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir?
Of course. I got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I see doesn't line up with the facts,
Sure.
okay, we're following a united front today, pal. You get me?
I mean, I was planning on pressing everything you say anyway. I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, Detective. Daw. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh? I can only wish. Yeah, this isn't gonna end well. Okay, back at it again. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Okay, cup number 1. We're gonna count from the beginning of the trial this time, all the way to the end. Because I think with the problem we made was we started in the middle.
Oh, bitter.
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor?
Ah,
What's wrong?
nothing. It's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You was talking to me." It was a little, well, intimidating.
No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. It's zing e up.
I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he?
Our trusty?
So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please. Mr. Wright, whether you're fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today.
But I can already tell you I'm the real Phoenix Wright.
I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether or not you had studied law. That's what I intend to find out.
There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. Yeah, but who? Like, there's a lot of people who definitely hate us. Frank saw it. Definitely hates us. Mr. Red White definitely hates us. That was his name, right? I know his last name was White. Was his first name Red? Sounds right. D. Vasquez definitely hates us. Manfred Von Karma, definitely hates us. Yenny Yogi definitely hates us. Who else we got? Chief Gant definitely hates us. Richard Wellington, or whatever his name was, from the Lost Turnabout, definitely hates us. Morgan Fay still in prison. Who else we got? It was freaking Acro. Acro, I don't actually know if he hates us or not. I don't even, the stupid circus case. I can't really pin anyone from the farewell tournament on my case. And then in this game, have we met anybody? It has to be someone before Stolen Tournament, so maybe someone in Mia's case. Grossberg? No, why would Grossberg hate us? I don't know. And also, why? So that statement seems to imply that it would be somebody who we got convicted guilty, right? That's why I listed all the people who we've gotten convicted or guilty. But all of them are either in prison or got the death penalty, I would assume. So how can that be the case?
As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict in this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial.
I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said, trust me.
Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness. Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation. Witness! Witness, state your name for the court. Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective Occupation Dick Gumshoe.
Someone's a little nervous.
All the way around, detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation is tied up with another case now. The victim name was Glenn Elk. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Incorporated, a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence.
Glenn's autopsy report died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30.
And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poison coffee was brought over to him by the waitress.
The waitress being the accused?
Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. Gene Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo.
It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Trivia and floor plans added to the court record.
Come, detective, take up this hammer and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands.
No, Mr. Detective Gumshoe. Let's have your testimony.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The incident. Here we go. First testimony of the case.
When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir.
Okay, well, if Maggie's to believe, if Maggie's to be believed, which I believe she is, then we're definitely gonna find out more about that.
We were sitting on the guy Glenn. I was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in this coffee cup.
Okay, I'm gonna get some more information on that.
And what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff packs a real punch. And, it looks like Mr. might have, well, some kind of motive.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to ask more about what the motive is. I mean, we know what it is, but we need to get everyone to hear it.
Using the dark aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady.
The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but yes, please no intimidation checks this time around. Is that understood? I already told you that wasn't me! Okay, so, no contradictions, so we're just gonna press everything. Can I stop you for just a minute?
Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence?
He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table.
Yeah, that's what she said, and I...
What killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction?
Hey!
Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe?
Yeah, it's true. Their 2 testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table.
What should I do? Should I press this point? Yeah, press harder. Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way.
Ha. Their argument is as weak as the coffee is trade ends, right? I have here in my possession a ticket.
A ticket? It's more like a photo to me.
Yes, a one-way ticket to Guiltyville, population the defendant. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poison took place, correct? I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Tried, could anyone have overlooked the second person at the table?
That is a bit of a tough one.
It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly.
Crime photo added to the court record. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Let's try the thing about the poison. So, traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else.
Not sure I get you, pal.
Was the poison a liquid or was it a powder?
If I had to put it into layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance.
So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper. Okay, here's cup number 2.
Ha. Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Chart?
I don't drink coffee at all, so... I would imagine it doesn't seem like a normal thing to do, but...
The victim took his coffee black with no sugar.
It seems that the poison could have only been in the coffee.
What should I do? Should I press this? Yeah, of course we press it hard. Always press harder. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee?
Huh? What do you mean?
According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it?
Oh, hey, you're right.
In case you were wondering, the last objection was for the detective there.
Huh? For me?
Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have time to waste, you have time to present that piece of evidence.
That piece, sir?
Yes, that piece.
What piece was it again?
This.
Oh. Should I be grateful this copy's only hot enough to give you first-degree burns?
Oh, no, I remember. This is the victim's coffee cup.
Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at the rim. Oh yes, it's unmistakable. There's clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup.
And here's cup number 3.
The victim gulped it.
Yeah.
For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants.
Okay, that's nice.
Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance.
And you found that, and then the motive. Some kind of a motive?
Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion.
You know what my golden rule is, detective. Chuck out a bad cup of coffee. You can always get another.
Huh? I don't get it.
I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to check you out. So stick to the facts, Detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive?
Come on, Gumshoe.
They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket.
I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too.
Disappeared from the scene of the crime.
And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000.
Yeah, that is a bit of a tough one. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket, too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. Then, is it possible that Maggie stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press harder. Always press harder. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client.
Ha, I have here in my hand the very ticket in question.
Well, that's a $500,000 lottery ticket. One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant.
What?
Order!
Ha, she's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress.
You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately.
I better keep an eye on that ticket. The way that judge's voice is quivering. Think the judge is gonna steal it?
This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial too. But it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say?
It was just a scrap of paper. I mean, what matters is where it was found, Your Honor.
And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately.
That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit this crime.
I like an old man who knows the score.
There was also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules.
I don't mind an old man who is weak to the Simon call of money.
Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. There's cup number 4.
I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance. With one final decisive piece of evidence.
He's got more evidence against Maggie?
This is the apron that the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time.
Is that blood? Wait, why would there be blood on it? Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen. That stain looks like it can't be blood, can it?
Ha, it seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee or something.
Okay, that's not the main event here, buddy. How about the blood on the apron? You gonna talk about the blood on the apron? The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye.
Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about it.
Okay, I was about to say.
No, something else that stands out even more.
Something else? I'm assuming you mean.
Of course, I'm referring to the pot.
What? This must be one of those funny jokes. You must be telling this must all just be a funny joke, right? This is just it's all one of those haha funnies, right? The pocket.
A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide, the very poison used by the killers in the apron pocket.
So I'm just gonna predict right now that what he's gonna say is gonna be like,
I already examined the blood and it was of no significance whatsoever.
which is total BS, but whatever. What?
Order! The court will accept these items into evidence.
Apron adds to the court record, had a small pocket but big stains. Deadly powdery poison bears
Something is still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Yeah, I'm also curious about that.
Bloodstain? What bloodstain with that?
Huh? What? You're not this dense. I'm sorry. You're not. You
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous. No one told.
You don't have to be told about a blood stain. It's right there. It's right there. Okay, fine. It's just ketchup. Whatever. That doesn't explain how you just straight up failed to mention it. That's just so silly. Like, you don't look at this and think to yourself, yeah, that's probably ketchup. Even if you do think about it. Like, it's just, how do you not see that? Ketchup?
She must have gotten some on her apron while taking some of the breakfast that day.
Who has ketchup at breakfast?
Could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe.
Pull a son like that again and I'll help you drink 7 takedowns of
Ketchup witness, yikes.
I thought everyone knew what it was already.
Well, Godon over here didn't even know that anything existed right there.
I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made in this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence, they have all been clearly established.
Well, Trite, it seems you really are a phony after all.
You really know how to drive a man nuts.
Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there.
Okay. How do you not see the freaking stain? How do you not do that? I'm so confused.
The crime was reported at 2:25 a.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie passed out from the shock. Must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him.
Okay, that's interesting.
We figured out who he was for doing it.
How did you figure out who he was if we didn't have ID on him? Riddle me that, Batman.
When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and bottle poison, and that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene.
How did you figure out who he was if he didn't have any identification on him?
You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Lost trying to convince the court you're a real lawyer, right? Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one, so let the fun begin.
Okay, how did you figure out who he was if he had no form of identification on him? Wait a sec.
Huh? Did I say something dumb again?
Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes?
Yeah, basically.
In this case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly?
Oh, that.
He's so let down he's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going.
There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along the lottery ticket.
It seems Mr. Glenn Elk was this doctor before he went to Trebian.
We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds.
That's a reliable enough source of the court.
What should I do? So this loan... Actually, wait a second. Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Okay. So, he said there was nothing else missing from the crime scene, right? Hold on, let me see what he says about it. So what's the medicine was in the bag?
Well, actually the bag we found was empty.
Oh, so there was something missing from the crime scene, huh? Because I believe, like, 30 seconds ago, you were like...
There was nothing else missing from the crime scene.
Huh?
Yeah, completely empty.
It was completely empty? Okay. Huh.
You were entering an empty paper bag as evidence? Desperate are you, Trite? No, what happened with that investigation after that, Detective?
Nothing else. Nope, that's a big old lie right there. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There is just one small contradiction in your testimony.
Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting. Hurry up, will you?
You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later?
No, they didn't.
The victim was given a prescription right before going to Trebian. Where, then, did the medicine disappear to?
You are too cool, pal!
Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence?
I guess that's the most chaos thing I've done so far, huh?
The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself.
Order! Order! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that? That's all.
What?
Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will.
What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New ear... Otolaryngological?
Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bit of war wound, you could say. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elk found himself in a fight.
That seems pretty significant, wouldn't you?
He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum.
He ruptured his eardrum?
And what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested.
What?
It's mentioned in the autopsy report you read.
Is it? I'm gonna have to read that now. No. I'm pressing A and can't read it.
They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is in very, very fine print. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication when he was a Trebian. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. It seems that the medication is irrelevant to the case after all.
No. Nick, if you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. She's right. But I can't get away with any old weak injection. What should I do? Push the medication issue. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Trebian. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime?
But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal.
That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it is a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide.
It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did! The possibility is undeniable.
Oh.
That's enough. Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot? I got my own witness line to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder.
Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater?
Very well. The matter of this disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that is something that bothers me.
Yay, good job, Nick!
The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness.
Huh.
I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off for my last 6 cups.
You have not drinking 11 cups already. January 7th, 11:03 a.m. Quarterfinal line number 1. Phew! That was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir! No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How can he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's gotta do his job, right? It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But I really hurt this time. I felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile seats. I bet he's gonna be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know? Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you gonna be able to handle him, Nick? Oh, trust me, we've handled worse. I can take whatever he throws me, even those never-ending bird seats. Who was the worst witness we've had to cross-examine, do you think? You think maybe it would be the ventriloquist duo? We've dealt with a lot of tough people. I feel like it's gotta be someone from the freaking circus case, though. Okay, here we go.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old timer who has caught this show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation if you don't mind.
The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me, mind you, I can be quite emotional at times too.
We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation.
My occupation? Yeah, listen, youngin', how much call you think there is for kimono embroidery here?
Kimono embroidery?
That's what I do, or did, back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed.
Wow, a real craftsman, they're a dying breed. Hey, maybe you can embroider my costume sometime.
Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here, so I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile.
That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen.
Now then, witness. Were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident?
Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of cappuccino.
Seeds?
What do you think these are?
I see. So you said you saw everything that happened, Gramps?
Did I? Oh yes, I did, I saw it all.
Then please tell the court we're all ears.
Sure. I'll tell you every last detail.
He's really getting into this. Okay. What I witnessed. Here we go.
The youngin' man was reading the sports paper. The serving girl brought him a cappuccino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl, right there in the attendance chair. I remember her well.
No, you don't. You actually just don't, though. You recognize the uniform, nothing else. You only recognize them by the uniform.
Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress.
Ka, you're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones, huh?
Newfangled?
All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles, I tell you.
Excuse me?
Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values.
Oh, good God.
Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. This guy's in the light. Okay. What I witnessed. Well, first things first. You definitely do not remember her well. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features you could identify her by?
Particular features, it's a disgrace, that's what it is.
Sorry?
You can see all the way up to her, you know, she's practically naked in that uniform.
Oh my God. So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just such a uniform, even me.
Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image.
Don't get all excited, Nick, you gotta keep yourself together.
I guess I got a bit carried away.
Yeah, there are other things I recognize about her, too.
Uh-huh. What should I do? I would love to hear what those details are. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress is Maggie Bird or not.
Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these are the features that you recognize about the defendant. I would ask you to add them to your testimony.
Sure.
There was a ribbon in her hair. Okay. You do seem to remember several details about her appearance, but what about the most crucial detail of all, her face?
Yeah, as if I wouldn't remember that.
The The witness noticed the straps on the accursed apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face.
That's right, I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair was red.
Is it? It is. Okay. That's unfortunate. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something one of this... Oh, yeah! Oh, I know where this is going. Okay. Because he described the bow and the loose straps, which are things you would typically notice if you were looking at them from the back, not the front, which means he may not have seen her face at all. The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back.
So what?
You never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Ha, he's got you there, Gramps.
People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons.
This is harassment. I tell you I'm not obsessed with straps and ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features you observe from the front, that is, your testimony.
Sure.
Yo, my testimony is getting longer and longer, and if I can't find a hole in it soon, it's gonna get even longer. Wasn't anything that caught my attention about her when I saw her from the... Oh, I'm afraid you're caught, buddy. I'm afraid you're caught, buddy, because, have you seen the apron recently? Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this.
Yeah, that filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating.
Have you ever seen this before?
Of course I haven't. You think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Well, you half-witted clot. What? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here.
Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this, which means if you had really seen this apron before, yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front.
Oops.
That's not an oops moment there, buddy.
Witness, you can't just oops your way out of this. Ha, well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Trike. Here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird? Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps.
You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember a single occasion where I forgot what burger customer wanted. You can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out.
Very well. Let's test just how good your memory is and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim.
Okay, here we go. About the victim. This should be interesting.
He was another of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling his pages. Wait a second. Wait, where's the coffee cup? Oh, wait a second. Oh, no, buddy. Buddy, I'm sorry. Wait. Okay, you know what? Let's give him a chance. Maybe he's gonna say, put the newspaper down. Listen to wireless. Serving girl brought it over. Pick up his free. Oh, nope. You're caught, buddy. You're caught. Because you wanna know why? The handle is on the right side of the cup. Alright? You pick up the cup. I'm gonna use my water bottle as an example. You pick it up. I pick it up with my right hand. I bring it towards my mouth to drink out of it. And the lip stain is on the front side with the handle on the right. Right? So, if what he said is true, he would have picked it up with his left hand, which means he would have had to flip the cup around, and the lip stain would be on the other side. So that, my friends, is a little thing we call a contradiction.
Just one we have just heard to the test was how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail.
Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. How are we gonna handle this, Nick?
We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. To strip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it's what I do best. Okay. This one seems pretty straightforward. Because he definitely could not have picked it up with his free hand. It directly contradicts this evidence. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory?
I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you, nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Oh boy, everybody strap in your seats and grab a bucket of popcorn, because we're in for a real show if that's true.
Care to tell us where this is going, Wright?
According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, whilst drinking the coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left.
What is this, kindergarten?
But I would like the court to please take a look at this.
That's the cup the victim used, correct?
Yes, and on the rim, you notice the mark left by the victim's lips.
Yes, there was a stain left by his coffee.
If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand.
But how?
Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think this witness...
Wait! If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw.
You still insist on your testimony? That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand?
Oh yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hotbot and you spiky-haired yahoo, are all at fault.
Who, me?
Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already.
Don't call me old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say.
Sure, why not hear a little more? Mr. Godot! But this is my 16th cup of coffee, so this is your final stand.
Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor.
Uh-huh. Left hand or right hand?
The boy's wearing the earpiece on the same side of the green legs of his specs.
Is that true? What ear... Hold on, well, let me double check. Victim got this from the doctor for going to Tribune, the bag is empty. What ear is infected? Wait, that's kind of important, an important detail. Which of the ears is infected? I don't know. Where's... Victim got this from the doctor before going to... I can't click on it. Shouldn't this tell me which ear was ruptured? If my memory serves me right, it was his left eardrum. Let me check his photo. Oh, okay, here we go. His left eardrum was ruptured the day before the incident. Okay, so here's where he says, so we have to present his profile because this is where it actually says that his left eardrum was ruptured. But so that's if that's true, then that's a blatant contradiction. Because he said he's wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his spec, which would mean the left side. But you don't put an earpiece into the ear that was ruptured. That's just not how that works.
He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand.
You're just wrong. You're just wrong, though. You're actually just wrong, though.
We know the victim was wearing an unusual monocle on his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work.
HDTV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw, and I'm telling the truth.
It's true, it doesn't seem to be, but he is, though.
And those are the facts in good old black and white.
I can prove that they're not. I can actually just prove that they're not. You're just wrong. You're just actually wrong, though. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim. You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD.
No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. I can only see that side of his head from where I was sitting.
I don't think so.
What did you say?
You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured.
Eh?
Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right. It's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear it in that ear.
Is that true, Captain?
It is.
Pigeon. Pretty pigeon.
Order. This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the witches from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot?
Or, a single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk.
Captain, you caught me a drip.
This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand.
I'll never back down, I know I'm right. The lad drank his Javachino with his left hand.
That may put you out of your misery. Clearly the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup in his right hand and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw.
Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of coffee.
Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The fact still stands. With one hand or the other, Mr. Elk drank the poisoned coffee like this.
Sadly, Mr. Goddard doesn't. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible, and the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless.
I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce.
Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fogey.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned.
Done.
Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me?
Leave you, Mr. Kudo?
Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now.
How is your bad memory my fault?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do.
I've kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else this court should know.
What?
There's more?
To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything, but I want another chance. I want another crack at you, young shark.
Me? He's looking at me like I'm sort of evil shogun.
Well, everyone, the final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook.
Sorry, Grubs. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee.
What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javachino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man.
That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony.
You bet. Much, much quicker. I can't believe it. This is happening. Ha ha ha. You better get ready, youngster.
I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's got to be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. Oh, I love self-awareness. Okay, it's the final showdown.
First of all, I want to stress this might be... I don't care. This young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of this Javachino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over.
Is that true? There's no vase in evidence. Does the crime photo show a vase knocked over? Crime photo. Oh, how interesting! The vase is still upright. How interesting. No, I didn't want to look at it again. How interesting, because it appears that the vase is, in fact, still upright. What an interesting detail.
Is that all?
Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly.
No, you don't. You definitely don't. No, wait, no. Oh, I am. Trust me, I am.
Don't you get this feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick?
Yeah. So what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy.
You're a bird brain. That's why it's all you can think of. No,
I just found the contradiction. I just found the contradiction. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Cross-examination, the final showdown. Okay. So where do you say that he knocked it over? You say right here, and I'm just gonna have to go with a solid no on that one. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene.
So what?
Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact. Lost your tongue, Granddad?
I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch. Ow, ow.
Enough! If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom... What is it now?
I just remembered something.
Yes, go on.
The broken vase. It was on my table.
What?
Well, you see... It startled me when that young lad collapsed, so I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean.
The vase on your table?
Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked.
Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today.
I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all?
Or perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo.
Wait a minute. If that's the case, then there's more. I got more to say. Oh, yes, I remember something else.
Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom.
Wait, listen to me.
Oh, good God.
Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked, and I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are 2 disparities in the testimony we have heard thus far. The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank from his left hand, and the earpiece which would...
Wow, Nick, you did it!
I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts.
Yes, Your Honor.
There is one more thing before I call today's session to an end.
One more thing, Your Honor.
The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that this testimony should be of use, so we summarize it accordingly into this statement.
Okay.
You may each have a copy of it if you wish.
Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that.
God's really mad, huh?
Yeah, I would be too.
Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies, my own, yours, and Mr. Godot's.
Yes, Your Honor. Are you really gonna list the same thing 3 times? I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies? What was actually stated? I didn't actually read it. What was... When the incident occurred, I broke the vase in my seat. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, and this case continues to be very, very interesting. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time. Hope to catch you all tomorrow for some more Phoenix Wright Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Goodbye.